It's official. Style Guys is trending for the holiday season. Located 1252 Burnham Ave in Calumet City. Being black owned and operated with new items weekly, in store, and even online. And with over 50,000 followers online, you can't miss out. Sales going on till 2022. Like jogging suits, hoodies, t-shirts, Jordan Craig, smoke rides, crisp, sweaters, and so much more. So beat the lines and order online from Style Guys, 1252 Burnham Ave in Calumet City. Contact them today at 708-801-9481. Again, 708-801-9481. Or check them out from Tuesday to Saturday from noon to 7 p.m. or Sundays from noon to 5 p.m. Style Guys, 1252 Burnham Ave in Calumet City. Life, fashion, style. Follow some of the newest styles by Style Guys in Calumet City. Lock in The Style Guys on IG or look them up, thestyleguys.com. Gone wild!
Feeling myself, but I stay in my lane. I know you thinking you nice, but you sounding the same. He need to switch up his flow, but I know that he ain't. Maybe he want to and probably can't. He talk a lot, but ain't saying a word. He's 16, sounding like he be lacing his herb. Reggie Rock told me time to just focus and spit. Quit worrying about the niggas abandoning ship. I dropped broken and they told me quit biting your tongue. The way you writing sounded like you forgot where you from. Say you from the hood, but you sound like a minister now. Yeah, I could take it there, but shit, I just like how this sound. I should address some of this drama, but letting it go. Shit, I can't keep playing with you niggas, I'm getting too old. The last words Bone told me I never forget. Quit playing with this music and do it to death. Shit, I came back.
You are listening to the End of the Bench podcast on Built for This Network, hosted by my man, HRap B.
And as they say in the Bible, as Jesus said in the Bible, I am he. This man HRap coming at you live and direct. This is a dope podcast called HRap and Beat. This is the End of the Bench presents this dope podcast called HRap and you Negro. Horrible. You're horrible.
Man, I'm fresh off work. Wise got BJ coming to you live and direct.
Horrible, man. You're horrible. My daddy's blood on that land. But I want to do what I do every show. I want to thank our first and foremost, we want to salute to our ancestors, everybody connected to the Pollard, Whitmore, Patterson, Turner, Battle, Cotton, Harper, Crisp, Lansdowne, Liggins, Bailey, Walker, Thompson, Trotter, Brandon, Brandy, Lott, Wilson, Johnson, and you already know the Williams clan. We are in the building at all times. This is a podcast, you know. Hey, download it at any podcast outlet built for this network, and then subscribe, comment, rate 10 stars if you can. Do what you got to do to make us dope. And if you're on Facebook right now, hit that like button, thumbs up. You know, same thing you do when you see a picture you like, do that.
And share
And share it. And if you are on YouTube, you already know, subscribe, like,
smash,
share, tell a friend to tune in. We already got people early in the building. We got sister Charlotte and Lil Mama, aka Tiki, aka Teresa Rucker in the building, Rucker Park in the building. And this guy right here, I don't know his name, but he ain't even know his name. And then she tell me, I just got off work. You forgot your name.
I do what I can, man. I ain't perfect. I'm just real close to
it. If that's close to perfect.
I'm not perfect.
Me in trouble. Well, you close to perfect. Okay, go ahead. Yeah. That's your mama side right there, boy.
Hey, my mama got some cool people in her family.
Boy.
Dress.
They stand outside cold. Yeah.
Hey man, Jurassic is the man. Can't speak for the mother.
He can't even rap, man.
He dope, man.
He can't rap. The only thing he rapping is gifts. Tell him I said.
Homie told that the peanut to him. Oh, you still rapping? Oh man, you must be signed to Go Nowhere Records. I say you was a dirty nigga.
Hey man, we ain't using that word, man. It's a white racist word, like Michael Evans. Man, how your last 2 weeks been?
Man, it was dope, man.
Let me sit back so y'all can see my halo.
Yeah, right. Was upside down.
My horns all up my halo. Is that what you're trying to say?
No, man, I didn't do anything. I just I'm thinking about, stay tuned for this. I'm gonna start vlogging brunches. We're going to a bunch of nice places and getting some nice food, getting some nice vibes. Because one thing I've learned over the years, everybody know me as the party animal. I've been going out and watching the bands. I'm like, man, why not get paid for this? Hey, man.
You gonna be vlogging, being video or typing? Because you know,
I'm videoing this.
okay.
Hey, I mean, somebody's always invited me. Some shout out to my man 773. Shout out to DJ Amaris. Shout out to my man's Kales ENT. Shout out to my man Juice. I'm pretty much plugged inside the club scene. So if anybody ever need a section, also shout out to my man JB too. Ever need if you ever want somewhere nice to go, they usually throw like real nice concerts, real nice lounges.
Hey, them jokers watching?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm finna say, don't be plugging nobody ain't watching.
Man, look, they the plug.
Oh, they the plug.
I definitely sent it out to them.
You selling drugs now?
No, forget that. They get you. As close as getting some half price bottles. Hey, you BJ man, come on. We getting you in we skipping the line, getting you in for free. My word. Just tell them, BJ, or tell them you call me right before you get there. I'll call any one of them people. They come to get you out of the line no matter what's going on.
Check that out. You
my word.
Jesse Jackson, you are somebody. I got my main man, 1/5 of the Fab Five, my man Larry Brandon in the building. Thanks, Larry, for the support. I need y'all to hit that like button, thumbs up. Keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. That's good, man. Hey, what's that ugly T-shirt you got on, man?
Oh man, it's that wise guy apparel, man. You know what's going on. We got a big sale going on. Anybody that's a 3X, let me get this down right. I think it's 5 T-shirts for $100 right now. I got you got your $100?
You owe me a T-shirt from my 50th birthday.
Yeah, I definitely do.
I'm about to be 50 deuce.
Yeah, well, check it out.
Yeah, I see.
But
it's horrible, man.
We do got a great sale going on right now. Let me just get the details of it in 1 second. Yeah, 5 T-shirts for $100. I got 2 crew necks for $100, all big sizes right now. And I also got a new line of T-shirts that's coming out, as well as two new styles of hoodies. I got you, man.
Yeah, you got me. Yeah, like VD. You've been getting me for
you got it.
All right.
As long as I owe you, you'll never be broke.
I got my man Justin from the Elevate podcast. He's in the building. Thank you, Justin. It's always good to see you. Got my sister rolling with views in the building. It's always good to see the support. Look. Let's get this train moving, man. This week is an interesting week in regards to conversations we're going to have. If anybody, this is your first time watching, this is two adult, young adult and an old adult. 2 men having a conversation on life. Perspectives are the key. This is my son. He's 23 years younger than me. I know I look, look. I look younger than him now. But yeah, and we just gonna have conversations about life, and we gonna see what happens. Today, we're gonna ask a few religious questions because I didn't even realize when I wrote these questions out that it was gonna happen on Resurrection Week, 4104 West Roosevelt Road, Sure Foundation Church. Reverend Darby, looking for you, homeboy. Didn't even realize it was going to be Easter week when I wrote these out. But hey, man, the Lord works in mysterious ways. Speaking of mysterious ways, as I spoke about last night on my show, how I believe the people who are in control of everything, they make it, they separate the black community from the church. This is just a theory. I don't, usually I try to have receipts for what I talk about. I don't have anything to prove what I'm bringing up right now. I'm just sitting here. Thank you, Alfred. Good help, man. Good help, man. One day you get you a butler, boy. But
no, shout out to Nolan.
Yeah, rest in peace. They separated our community from the church. I think it's done purposely. And what I mean by done purposely, you see all these dudes. We've had this conversation. What I call them pork chop preachers. I got that from the late great Stokely Carmichael. Well, Kwame Ture, also known as Stokely Carmichael, pork chop preachers, and these dudes talk about things versus the Creator and the Spirit. And when you see people do that, they separate from the church because they go, I can't get that. That's just nonsense. And people are highlighting the wrongdoings of pastors and things of that nature. So the older I get, the more I realize that people in the church have been. Salute to Reverend Dodd. He said he needs a church Sunday. I'm just saying, man. Seat next to me. You used to sit next to me at the church. I'm just saying. But people have separated from the church because you go, hey man, I don't believe in that and this, that, and the third. I know that's a lot. It's been going on a lot over the last 30 years. When you got people like Quefflo Dollar, TD Jakes, a couple of them in our city. I ain't gonna say those names. I don't have to whoop nobody, but I will. But like old boy Toby say, try Jesus, because I got hands. Because I can fight. But the first question is, how do your generation view religion and what's going on from that perspective? How do you see it? And then tell me how you
see it. That's always how I do it. How I see it is I'm honestly just trying to find my way. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to find what makes sense to me. And I have been my entire life. Like, I've always gone to church with Rita. I've always gone to church with you. I've always gone to church with shout out to Dan and Vicky Allen. Man, two people I love dearly. Kept me on the straight and narrow for a very long time.
Your mean mama.
Huh? Yeah, my mama. So, I mean, I've just, me personally, I'm just trying to find my way in everything. Like, I just have to do more reading, and that's just my perspective of everything. Like, I want to say, yeah, I want to believe in this, but do I wholeheartedly believe in this? Do I want to give my everything to this? Do I want to practice what I preach? Because it's a lot of people out here that's, I'm with Christianity, and it's like, okay, that ain't Christianity, or I'm a Muslim, and they're not even practicing Ramadan as we speak. You know what I'm saying? You still got another 2 weeks of Ramadan going on right now. You like, hey man, don't you supposed to be fasting? Yeah, you got a pork chop sandwich at 3:00. Like, come on now. So I mean, yeah, that's just how I look at it. It's not
okay. Hold on. Let me stop right there. When you say you're trying to figure out what you believe in, I've been there. So tell me what you mean.
What I mean by that is, like I said, I've always, all the people I named, including you, reading everybody, y'all practice Christianity. I've always believed that was the way to go. It's just sometimes I want to do a little bit more research and how I feel about it myself. Because I don't want to just blindly go into something. Like, if this is something I'm going to do it wholeheartedly. I don't want to just do this because, my daddy and Rita said it's cool to do it. No, that's not gonna help me.
Hey man, your mama used to take you to church too. Don't be trying to put it off on me.
Yeah, my mama, because that's her too. And it take me to that scenes in Boys in the Hood when they was talking at the table, and what they were talking in the school, and what was it? Whatever scene it was when they was talking, and he was like, "Hey man, why Sharif always giving us that gas?"
That's meant to society, man.
Yeah, meant to society. He's like, "Why you always giving us that gas about what's name and you a Muslim and you a Christian?" He's like, "Man, if Allah could teach him how to be a better man, let him do that." And that's how I kind of feel like, man, maybe this is the way I need to go. Or, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Well, okay. Before I let you speak on that, what I'm gonna tell you is this. I'm gonna tell you exactly what your grandma told me. It don't make a difference how it goes, what you call it. The basic principles in all religion is treat your fellow man with utmost respect and love him as you love yourself, right?
Yes.
So it's kind of like from my studies, I found that it's kind of like in the South they call it soda. I mean, like you know, in the South they call it soda water. In New York they call it by the brand name, and we call it pop. We all talking about the same thing, you know, Prophet Muhammad, Jesus, and so it really just depends on what you're comfortable with. You know, as long as you have faith. That's what Pastor Don been talking about, maybe about the last 3 weeks. You ain't got to call yourself a Christian, because actually a Christian at that time was a negative connotation. You know, it had a negative connotation. So you go, I'm a Christian. Look at those Christians over there, and you were like, oh, you was like, look at those musty dudes over there. Right. Shout out to Ben from BSG Network, the captain of the forecast. So, whichever direction you choose to go in, just understand it's only one God. You know, you can call it whatever you want to call it, but it's only one God. So as you continue to study, as long as you have faith, that's the key.
Yeah, and I definitely do, because everything I stand for and live by is like, I believe in energy. So I always try to put as much positive energy into the world, because I believe that's exactly what you get back. You a jerk and you getting over on people every chance you get, you ain't gonna never have no good luck. Like every day I get up, I say a little prayer to myself and say, thank God for waking me up. Make sure I have a great day. And then I get to work and I start working, and then I talk to myself. A lot of people look at me like I'm crazy. I start folding my clothes. I start folding clothes or organizing shoes, wiping down something. I'm like, man, and I always tell myself I'm gonna have a good day. I put it into the world. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna have a good day. I'm gonna make a decent amount of money today. I'm gonna make me a nice little commission today. Yada yada yada. And that's just how I live my life.
That's what's up. Shout out to the homie Cook. And again, I don't know if she heard me. Shout out to Phyllis, TT Phyllis, and TT Teddy. I know she watched. She always get in late and be like, I can't get in, and then she get in like 5 minutes before the show come on. And we know she watching. She just ain't gonna get in that time. But yeah. So your generation, talk to me about your generation. Where are they at with religion? Because I think it's they're devoid of religion. No matter what, if it's Allah, Buddha, Jehovah Jireh, whatever it is, they are not grounded in anything. And this is what, in my opinion, this is what allowed them to do these reckless things like gang banging and hurting people and doing reckless stuff. Because when you have any form of faith, if you watch the show on Friday nights with Juice, I interviewed Juice. Juice was talking about how he was serving cocaine and crack rocks and heroin on the corner, and they would be out there having conversation about God. He said they would literally be out there. How many you need? 3? Okay. And then, man, I'm telling you, in Genesis it says this, which allows them not to be out there shooting each other. You know, of course, that pours in the community, but it also took him out of the streets, because he said God called him off the corner. So in your generation, what do you see? What time you see it is, man?
Let me ask you a quick question, just a little sidebar. Would you consider me and Bria the same generation?
No.
Okay, perfect. My generation is 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Mm-hmm. I would be lying to you if I told you there's just no one believes in anything, or it's just willy-nilly. No, it's just some people do, some people don't. So a lot of people have morals and standards and like, nah, this ain't it. And I see that they've gotten it as we gotten older, because as I was like 21, 22, it was kind of like, whatever. Then as they get older, they start to realize like, man, this ain't the way to go. And then like my my best friend Michael, he's always been in the church his whole life, and his whole family and everybody in his little circle. And he used to tell us to come to church. He used to bring us to church with him. Like, we go kick it. We'll be out kicking it on the weekends. We end up at his house, and he's like, hey, we going to church.
Remember that.
And and his church is right up the street from my mother's house. on what's that, California and Washington. I have to get the name for you.
It's my house. I was playing.
And we used to have to sit there and go to his church and party with him and with his church people and everything. And they always came with open arms and everything. And any questions you had or anything you want to ask them, it was there. But I would honestly say after my generation, it's kind of pretty much over with. That's like you brought up the theory of that's why these kids are gang banging and what's the name. A lot of these kids gang banging and doing the thing they're doing is because they just have no guidance at all. And it can have something to do with religion. It can have something to do with the parents. I think it's a mixture of everything. And
or lack thereof.
Yeah, lack thereof. And what they do with it is they coat it with drugs. That's why you hear about a lot of these kids. That's why you hear about this fentanyl thing. I was watching I think that was earlier this week where y'all was talking about the drugs. The lady said she had like type 2 diabetes.
Oh, that was last week.
Yeah, that was a good show. And they're coating it with drugs, and these drugs take them to another place. And it ain't like, oh, I'm a party drug Friday through Sunday and just get me through the weekend. And then I'm saying, no, these kids, they waking up every single day to take drugs to cope with the craziness they did or the craziness they about to do. And it's real out crazy. Then the drugs are laced. It's like, so for a religion to be even mixed in that, it's not going to happen.
Wow, that's crazy. Now that is truly bananas. But you know what? And that's where faith goes in. Because like when you watch the movie Malcolm X, that's the greatest example of it really doesn't make a difference who you pray, the surname of who you're praying to, whether it's Allah, Jehovah Jireh, God, whatever, the Almighty, the Creator, what have you. The names don't count. I got my man Chef D in the building. It's always good to see you. Please support the names that you see on the screen. Please continue to support those because those are the people that I support. They support me, and we're all going to be successful together. But back to what I was saying, that movie is a perfect example of people doing their very best to a person. Doing his very best to destroy himself, right? And he didn't. You remember at the very beginning, he was a cool kid, and the world turned him into Detroit Red. And then as he evolved into Detroit Red, he got into drugs, he got into crime, he got into pimping, he got into prostitution. But contrary to popular belief, Brother Baines does not exist. His brother, his actual blood brother.
Yeah, the guy you met in jail doesn't. Yeah,
that's a combination of people. It's a combination of his brother and this player that he met in jail. But he grabbed hold to religion and spirituality. Once he grabbed hold of religion and spirituality, it was a wrap. He grabbed hold of something that was strong, that was faithful, that led him right down the right path. And at that point, that's when you don't need the ancillary tools to cope as a coping mechanism. God becomes your coping mechanism, and then you will be able to deal with whatever comes your way because you know everything. As you stated a few minutes ago, you put that negative energy out, it's coming back and whipping your behind.
Man.
You put that positive energy out, then bam, it's going down. My man BC Cook, he just said the church used to be huge in the Black community. My grandparents went to school in the church, and they did everything in the church. Exactly. See, that's what I was saying.
And I totally agree because I remember even getting I remember we used to stay at Rita House, and Theodis would take us to go get free lunch from the church, or the church would have a little garbage carnival or something. Or, you know what I'm saying? It was church was a thing. I remember at one point you couldn't even I know this sounds crazy. You couldn't even cuss in front of the church. I done seen people.
Yeah, stop talking.
And keep going. It's man, it's nothing now. It's truly sad.
See, and that's the thing, man. That's what I said. I personally believe the Underground Railroad, the first stop at the Underground Railroad was the church. I don't have any documentation. I don't have any proof of that. But what other reason? For one, they used to not bother us in that house. You're in the church, they never bothered you. And then when you see movies about the Underground Railroad, the pastor's always the dude who hid you first. That's 2. 3, if you ain't getting bothered and the pastor's in on the heist, then that's how we get through Marcus Garvey had faith. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, faith. Malcolm X, faith. Adam Clayton Powell. People, hey, you look into you personally, look into this man named Adam Clayton Powell Jr. It'll blow your mind how they hid him, but he was his father. When you look at these things, faith, everything is grounded in faith in our community. And the further we get away from it, the further we deviate from things like that. Like you hear people, I don't really do church, but I meditate. But look, dumbass. Meditation is prayer in reverse.
I'm about to say a form of prayer.
Right, it's prayer in reverse. So you pray, you talking to God. Meditation, you listening. So I don't believe in God. Well, who the hell you meditate to? But that's a whole nother conversation. And that's why I truly believe those young people that you were just speaking about, that's why they're using these other mechanisms as coping mechanisms, because they've never been told, slow it down. Slow it down. Slow it down.
Exactly. Like I said, they're using these drugs to cope with the, how do I say this? The little voice in your head, like, look, that's God telling you, like, man, cool out. And you so high off these drugs, you like, I can't do that. Like, I refuse to believe when these kids, God forbid, I don't want to put this negative energy out here, but when they're doing these stick-ups for these cars, there's something in their mind not telling them, hey, this ain't right. This ain't cool.
Mm-hmm. It is telling them, but see, you don't know. See, if you don't know what that voice is, you ignore it.
Exactly. And that goes back to exactly what you said. A lot of people just don't know how to slow it down. Like, you used to tell me all the time, like, even when I got in trouble, you used to be like, hey, BJ, slow down. We're going to talk this out. You used to even be a minute, like, look, I'm going to go make me something to eat. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Point at the clock, 5 minutes. I'll be back. Then we can talk about exactly what's going on. Slow it down, like, man, look, I ain't looking for no quick answer. I ain't looking for you. I'm your dad answer. Used to be like, man, just slow it down and tell me what's going on.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing, man. A lot of people rush into it. See, this is why I believe in God, because I had people like my man who's in the chat room right now, Larry Brandon, Cedric Trotter, and Alex. All 3 of them stood up for me in a class one day, and Larry always teased me about it. He said, man, we'd have left your ass. We wouldn't have been in so much trouble. And it's a running joke. And they stood up for me because we had a teacher who, I'm not going to call him the devil, but he had a demon. Pastor Dodd was talking about that this week. He had a demon spirit. And Larry shook me one day. He was like, man, what the fuck are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And it just shook me about a buck, did it. I've always had good, positive spirits around me who kept me on the right path. Cedric Trotter standing up to an adult when standing up to an adult was a death wish, man. So when you have all these things and one of the things that really let me know it was God is the same year that I'm talking about. I just couldn't get right. I was just on BS that whole year. And one day, Mr. Morosky, he was the teacher that pretty much saved me, Larry, and Alex's academic career. He said, hey, man, come to my class on your off period. Larry and them don't even know this. Come to your class because I had been fucking out, dropping the ball, excuse me. And he said, come to my class on your off period, and then we even. I started doing it. Of course, some girl, and that's something that me and this dude, Pastor Don, introduced me to this dude named Rodney this weekend. He was like, he called it the Eve complex. This girl got in my ear, and I went to the library, and I heard Larry, I heard Cedric, I heard Alex, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna let them down. So I go back I'm saying, get back over here. And I heard another voice as I'm walking to the class, instruct me on going into the bathroom. I ain't had to pee. I just went in the bathroom. I'm like, why am I here? And I washed my hands, and Mr. Morosky walked in. He said, he's called me Willie McCovey. He said, Willie McCovey, because I'm left-handed. I said, Willie McCovey, boy, if you wouldn't have been in this bathroom, I was gonna fail you. So when you realize all those little voices, and I can give you chapter, book, and verse on 1,001 times in which God stepped in and stopped me from death, incarceration, and failure. So and that's because Grandma, my dear Lois, Mama Esther, Rita, my mama, and other good people who have been in my life, they instructed me, hey, this is where it is, this is where it's going, and this is where it needs to be. And a lot of people, see, it's easy to point at your generation and Bria's generation. For those who don't know, Bria is BJ's little sister, my only daughter. BJ and Bria are my only children. People don't, in their generation and part of your generation, they've never, oh man, they know better. Why do you think they know better? See, this is what I want the people who are listening to realize, and then I give you the floor again. Mm-hmm. It's rich people, Larry Elder, and these other doofuses that walk the earth that tell people that black people lazy and trifling. They look at people who work for a living every day, who don't have millions of dollars, who are not in a great position. Well, you could just do it. I did it. So when you look at them and go, coon, sellout, clown, Tom, when you look at those children who acting a fool, you're pretty much Larry Elder and them and Jason Whitlock and them and all those dudes, but you're just saying it's somebody who are under you. So that's why I rock with it. Go ahead, finish, and then we can go to the next question.
Oh, shout out. I didn't see the name. I don't think it was a name up there. I just read a comment that said they don't have a fear. These kids don't have a fear of authority.
That's my man, BC Cook.
Yeah, his name wasn't on there.
Yeah, he on Facebook.
Authority or God, and that's 100% true. Like when you have no fear of anything, like you can really do anything. Mm-hmm. You're bound to do anything. Like it's
good and bad though.
Yeah, good and bad. Yeah, but in this case, we're talking about it's bad because, like, I remember. God rest his soul, Vince, when he was getting out of jail, he was like, "Man, this ain't it." yeah. Like, it amazed me because you reinstilled this in my mind, and I guarantee you'll know the story I'm going to talk about. The time with the fork, he got out of jail and he ate off the metal fork, and he went, he put his plate down, put the metal, washed the metal fork, and when they got a plastic one, you said, "Man, what's wrong with you?" He said, "Man, I could taste the metal."
He said his exact words was, "I'm institutionalized."
And at that moment, I'm like, "What?" And I didn't understand it that very second. But as the years went by, I was like, "Man, you've been in jail so long, you can't eat off a metal fork."
And here's the crazy part: he'd only been there 2.5 years.
And as a grown man, and who I am today, and what I know. That's 2.5 more than I never need to do. That's 2.5 more than I will ever need for him. He did it, and I understand it.
Right.
But yeah, there's no fear, no nothing. Like it's amazing. It's like me. A lot of people always me and my cousins. Shout out to Nut. Shout out to Jew. We'll always be drinking or talking, and I don't know how we get into this conversation because maybe we'll talk about something stupid we didn't did that could have got us locked up or something, and I'll be like, "Man, I don't care what y'all talking about. I'm not going to jail. I'm not built for jail. I'm afraid." They be looking at me. It be some tough dudes. They're like, "Man, what you talking about? I did 3." I said, "Look, let me tell you something. I can't do 3 minutes, let alone 3 years."
Right. I ain't got that time.
I don't have that in me. No, look, I don't want to do none of this. I'm good.
Right. I can do too.
I got it. Woo. And I always tell it. Me get to sit around and drink it. I always tell this like little joke, but it was kind of true. I was wanted to be the super gang man, a super killer, and I was standing outside with the thugs, woo. And them niggas got the licking shots at us. I took off running. I said, "Look, man, here go y'all gun back in here, drugs. I'm gone. I'm finna go. I don't want no piece of this."
Yeah. Hey.
Oh, no. Oh, this was being a gangster like? Oh, here go your gun. Here go your gun.
Yeah, I
thought y'all was out here. I thought this was about getting girls and kicking.
Yeah.
Like, what you doing? You want a Bible study? I'm with you. Let's go.
Right. No girls, no kicking it, just that. I got my man Big Mo from Tiger Park in the building. Good to see you, Mo. I like what Charlotte just said. The prayers of our ancestors also help breaking free of their spiritual bonds and generational curses that keep us from God. Bam! Exactly, man. And see, that's what people don't understand, man. See, we think we praying today and then God answering tomorrow. No, Jack.
And
Madia's great grandmama was praying for us, and then Madia's grandmama was praying for us, and so forth and so on. Your kids who you don't even have yet, those were my prayers going. So it has to be a cyclical thing. It can never stop.
What did you say? What was the quote? Not quote. What did you say when we first started? You said you think how we're getting separated.
What Charlotte just said?
No, what you said, because I'm gonna speak on that. You said we're being separated by what?
The people who are in charge of this country. Yeah. The wicked folks in this country separating us from the church. Again, whether it's the synagogue, whether it's the mosque or the church. See, when you are spiritually grounded, there's a certain thing, there's a certain direction that you're pointed in. And then when you're pointed in that thing, and when you point it in that direction, you will draw people to you. That's something I said last night on the show. People always go, see, I don't go to church because them people are never more wicked than anybody. And I'm positive. I ain't got time for that negative energy. Well, come on to church and force that wickedness out.
Exactly.
Or the mosque or the synagogue or whoever you want to pray to. Go pray to
and I want to speak on that because I believe that's absolutely right. Because like you said, you praying for your ancestors, you praying for this and that. And you praying for the future generations. And that's where my generation and generations under me is being separated because we're so, like you said, the powers that be. I'm going to use the powers that be as in Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, anything. Those are the powers I'm going to speak on in this instance. And the reason I'm going to say that is because my generation and every other generation up under me, they're so used to instant gratification. Mm-hmm. So they can't see past right now. If they say, God, I want it to rain, somebody need to come with a bucket and start raining right now, or they giving up right there. It's over with. When you honestly know, like, man, it may be a while, but he's going to take you up out this slump. May not happen today, may not happen tomorrow, may not even happen in the next year or so. But you're going to come out of it. You keep praying, you keep having faith, and it's going to happen. No. My generation and any other generation up under me want it right now. They don't have time for ancestors. And no, my prayer need to be for me right now.
And, another thing I think it is, and I listen to these young people when I talk to them, me, I just random talk to a young person. You've seen me do it. Mm-hmm. And they don't think tomorrow coming. You can sell them tomorrow.
Facts.
They think they waiting to die. Like the same Biggie said, they ready to die. Tell God I said hi.
Facts. These are, and that's another scary fact about my generation and religion. It's like I've never seen, man, I remember as a kid, I used to be so afraid of death. Like, and you know that. Like, I was raised by Graham. She could have sneezed too hard. And I'm like, she's dead. Like, don't die. Like, and they don't have that fear at all. Like, oh, well.
Yeah, I'm going to die. Join the army. At least you're going to get some money for it.
Right. Like, man, I don't care about that, man. I was like, what do you care about then?
Right. But yeah, man. Let's move on to the next question. Mm-hmm. Floor is yours. Faith is a growth process, and it's different for everyone. Patience is the fruit of the spirit that we all pray for more, and it is definitely something that occurs that doesn't occur instantaneously. God's timing is perfect. That's Sister Charlotte. Thank you, Charlotte, for participating. It's all good. Even though, like, I'm gonna skip that question because we kind of answered that one. Let's go to that third question. The third question is, let me pull it up. The third question is, do y'all even talk about God?
No.
No. Nobody talks about God.
No.
Wow.
I can't honestly tell you the last time I even heard somebody say anything about God.
We got flat tires.
Honestly, no, that's a lie. Because I feel like the only reason I've even had a conversation about God is because I work with Muslims, Arabs. So we try to understand. I've worked with a great amount of Arabs, and they were very, very great in understanding people. They weren't just the jerks that people think they are, the money hungry people. These are people that will sit down and explain every piece of their religion and why they feel the way they feel. And we even got to like race conversation. I was like, well, how do you view this? And they'll tell you like, well, don't feel offended by it. And I said, I don't, because I honestly want to know how you feel or how this makes you feel or how do your people see this? And they'll tell you. So that's the only reason I've personally had one. But if I've been around just a bunch of people that I know, no.
Well, I'm gonna give you a little piece of information. If you want to have that conversation, it's somebody who you hang out with 4 or 5 days a week that want to talk about God. You don't even know it. He probably never even told you.
Ooh.
Peanut.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yep. He reaches out to me about God. So maybe you should see this is one of those things, man. When nobody's talking about the future, spirituality, the afterlife, things like that, being grounded. Maybe, and you the only person that's there that has that, maybe it's on you to step up and say it. Because a lot of people are afraid to ask because they think they're gonna be looked upon as crazy or punk. Some lady just said hello, hey BJ, I don't know, Nicole Crumble. DJ Mama. But yeah, maybe it's on you. See the thing, like, what the funny thing is, man, some of my closest friends, Alex, Larry, Cedric, Terrence, and a few other people. I've never had a spiritual conversation with them. But here's the thing: for the last, I got my man Reg in the building. I sit in them scripture for the last 13 years. Ain't neither one of them say, hey man, don't be sitting there at God stuff. So, we've never had the conversation, but again, we come from a different generation. So again, man, maybe it's on you. Maybe
it might be because one thing I love about me and Peanut's relationship is me and him would be heated at each other Monday, but it's over with by Tuesday because it's like, hey man, it wasn't probably one that's deep. But how our relationship elevated over the years, like how it's gotten better, because me and him used to kick it. I remember the time. Peanut is one of the reasons I hate strip clubs and I really don't like clubs. I really just go to support somebody else because this is no exaggeration. I promise you it's not. He attest to this. From the day I turned about 18 to about 21. Matter of fact, 18, I was counting the parties with him and yada, yada, yada. When I was old enough to show him my own ID and he didn't have to get him an extra couple dollars.
So when you was living in my house, you was sneaking in clubs with fake ID? I don't know if you should tell your parents that, but
I wasn't sneaking nowhere. I got in. Sneaking is, come on. I was at the point where it was like, hey, BJ, come on, man. But no, he used to have me in the clubs. I promise you. I know people think I'm over exaggerating about this, but you can ask Peanut. He had me in the club. Matter of fact, my mama would know. 7 days a week for 2 years straight.
Your mama know when you was living in my house that you was sneaking in the club?
She knew I was outside with Peanut. That's what she knew. When you going to with Peanut?
Yeah. No wonder she only said hi, BJ.
But I say that to say this, like, when we was doing that, we talked, we kick it. It was about the girls and that. But now you could see our whole conversation just change. It'd be about life, how we feeling about this, how you feeling about this. Like, if you are all right, is your mental okay? So I honestly believe, yeah, you're right. I do. We should initiate those conversations.
Yeah. See, because those conversations put you in a better space. It brings calm to your world. See, a lot of people, man, they're afraid of those conversations, and why, I don't know. Because that's the way we was raised. I know my sister raised them with God, so
it's a judgment thing. A lot of people right now point, like you said, they point the finger right now. It's a pointing finger generation. Oh, it's like, so that's why I'm so comfortable with me. Like I said, I'll tell people in the door, I'm scared. So don't nobody want to be judged right now. And that's not to say Peanut like that, but my entire generation, they hate for us to feel uncomfortable. It's like, hey, whatever. Cool with me.
Yeah, but you know what, man? That's not just your. Look at that. You see that? You see this? You see this? You see this? You see that? That's your mom. BJ, your mom. That ain't just your generation. What it is a lack of, again, it goes back to, we got DJ Purplicious in the building, built for this network. She mad love to her. You know what that is? That's a situation. That ain't just your generation. It's a lack of boundaries set for your generation. Because, dude, that's good old fashioned raw dog peer pressure right there. You afraid to be and who you are and what you can be because you think somebody gonna say something. You won't wear the clothes that you want to wear. You will smoke weed. You will drink. That's why I started drinking, because everybody around me was drinking. I thought it looked cool, and you know, you would do a lot of things. But the fact that it's 25, it's 21, 22, 25, 27, 29-year-old people saying, I don't want to be judged. That means you've never, all those times that you and Bria was thinking. Remember those times I used to sit you and Bria down, and I get to preach it to y'all, and I'll look at y'all face, and I'll go, I know y'all saying, man, why don't you shut the hell up? And y'all would laugh. Mm-hmm. That means nobody sat down and had those conversations with them. Mm-hmm. Like something happened with Bria at work recently, maybe about 6 months ago, 5 months ago, and you know, me and Bria was beefing at the time, but Nikki told me, your mom, okay, no, but she told me, and Bria handled it properly, and it didn't, it just went down, went like water off a duck's back with Bria. I say, see the benefits of having a jerk ass dad, because y'all, I used to tell y'all, I used to like, hey man, remember this conversation? Hey BJ, you probably hate me until you're about 20 years old. When you're 20, you're gonna look back and go, oh, that's what it was. And when you turn 20, that's when me and your relationship, we were real rocky in the teenage years, and from 18 on, it's gone up.
Yeah, so, I just told somebody that. I was like, yeah, they didn't have no conversation. I was just talking to somebody about Lorraine, and they was talking about how people talk to them. I was like, well, I didn't really have a granddad, but I had Lorraine, and she tougher than any nigga. I know. So. I wouldn't fight. I literally just told somebody that. I said, well, I didn't really have a granddad, but I got my auntie Lorraine, and she tougher than anybody. I bet you know.
Hey, I wouldn't fight. Hey, I'm not fighting them. So, man, Lorraine. See, that's what that is, man. That's that situation where, you're not, if you don't have that, see, that everything that you're saying is going on with the people in your generation and after, is a lack of foundation. That's the true essence. That is the microcosm. That is a microcosm of the Black community. We don't have foundation. We don't have language. We don't have diet. We don't have God, right? We don't have culture. Hip hop and cool and what you know, daddy, that is not culture. That's hood or whatever.
Wait, what dude on the movie say? That's jive. You speak
jive. That's jive. Exactly. Like, yeah, right. You speak jive. But we don't have a foundation. Let your mama know golden is Phyllis. I don't talk to your mama. How about that, BJ mama?
But yeah, you're absolutely right, because they don't know how to be told no. They don't know how to be told, no, you can't do that right there. And that's like, man, I remember calling Auntie Phil, can I come over? Well, I called Peanut. Hey, man, ask your mama, can I come over there? Before he can get out of his mouth, no. And it's like, yeah, I was mad at that point, but then I understood, like, hey, man, everything ain't gonna go your way. You can't come over here this weekend. It's over with.
Right. And then I used to tell you, no.
You used to be like, no, she don't want you over there.
Right. She don't want you over. But you know, if truth be told, Phyllis would have moved you in her house.
Yeah.
But
just certain times
understood. Sometimes you got to hear no. And that's foundational. That's structural.
Man, I remember the time Auntie Phyllis, I caught the chicken pox over her house. And I was like, I'm coming to get him. She said, coming to get him? Everybody over here that had it. He good.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. But yeah, man, Phyllis would have had you at our house 7 days a week. But Phyllis also understood, just because the way we were raised. Shout out to Teddy. You have to hear no in life, because you're going to hear way more hell no's than okays. You're going to hear it way more times. And these young people ain't had that structure. They ain't had, okay, we're going to build this and this is how we're going to get down. And then we going a man been in the house. Exactly. You got to have, see, that's the beauty. See, that's the beauty in me and Queen of the Haters, aka your mama, our relationship. Me and her, you know what? Think about this, BJ. All the time we was at home, you never seen me and your mama argue. Me and your mama would literally go in our bedroom and argue like this. See, this is what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
Y'all didn't hear, mother. You got to have a calm foundation, and you got to have, you know, a lot of times I was wrong. She was never wrong. Never, you know. She's never been wrong. I'm on my bad. But no, you know, a lot of times I was wrong, she was wrong. But we never came out in front of y'all and be like,
pick a side.
Right, pick a side. Who you got? Who you rolling with? Team Daddy? Well, I don't know.
And like you said, a lot of people just don't.
I'd have never won. But we
to piggyback on that foundation thing, a lot of people don't even understand. It's kind of like building a house of cards. Yeah, you might get to the top, and guess what? A gush of wind. It's over with. But guess what? Y'all instilled in me and Bria, like, hey, man, start again. And a lot of them don't know how to do it. It's like, oh, well.
And that's what it is. I mean, our community, well, they ain't going to do nothing. And when you're in the streets, man, I don't care. I ain't going to live. It's all the same thing, man. You build your mother, your father. Because like me, I hate to work. HATE, capital H, capital A, capital T, capital E. But guess what? Dolores and that Harper got her ass up and went to work. Bruh, the snow could be this high and the buses ain't running. And she was it was magical. She got to work at the same time every day, and she got home at 5:50 every day.
That's why, and that's one of the reasons I watch you and my mother do that, and that's why you've never heard me have a job for 6 months. And oh man, I did that for
they tripping.
Tripping. Look,
foundation.
I remember you even told me, nigga. They tripping everywhere. So get used to it.
Yeah, they tripping everywhere.
I was a big fan of P. Diddy. He said, "You think P. Diddy and them people ain't tripping? Everybody tripping."
Yeah.
And I was like, and once I got that, I was like, "You're about right," because this check come. They might be tripping on Monday, but I guarantee you, either Friday or next Friday, this check gonna drop.
Yeah, and that's the key, man. You got to realize the foundation is family. You know, like I'll be saying, remember I don't know if I said this to you. It's family, clan, village, community. Family is the family is your people that's around you, your sisters, brothers, friends, cousins. That's family. Family is your family, your relatives. Your clan is your homeboys, your crew. Community is the people that's connected to y'all. And culture is everybody that look like us, who rolling with us. They don't have to look like us to be part of the community, but if they down for the cause, that's it. And if you ain't doing that, and then the spirituality creeps in, and then it's two things that we've allowed to get away from us: diet and spirituality. See, because you feeding yourself all this sugar and hot crunchy curls and all this foolishness, and it ain't new. The brain is not being developed properly.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I believe that's why a lot of these kids jacked up, because they ain't ate a piece of fruit since 65. They ain't ate a vegetable since 82. You know what I'm saying? These things help develop your thought process, and all that cloud is in your mind. And then guess what? Even when you my age and you trying to eat right, or you from my generation, you trying to eat right, it still get overwhelming. And then that's when you slow down and you pray. And then you slow down again when you slow down again when you get home and meditate. And again, you get all these three things: this cultural thing, and then you get this essence thing, and then you get the spirituality. It's like a pyramid. The floor, the two walls get you closer to God. Period, point blank, and that's it. But people, we quick to say, see, BJ now, look at him with his pants off his butt. But I was wearing, my mom was like, look at you with the job. Why you wearing a jogging pants every day? Same thing. It's just a different flavor. But see, and then it's always somebody from my generation. But see, it wasn't like that. But you go from somebody who was wearing suits every day to sweatpants every day. I might as well have my behind out. I look like a clown to my mother. My mother bought me dress shoes to wear every day to school. Dress shoes. Back in the day, we used to call them stomps. I'm like, Ma, I ain't wearing. Of course, I ain't say that because I still can speak right now. Clearly, I didn't say that. But I'm like,
she was out to wear in high school.
Right. Man, dude, it took my mother to tell me that she knew I was doing it. One day, my mother used to have me wear pretty much, I'd be teasing me wearing Easter clothes to school every day. I wore slacks. This is how my mother used to dress me in school until I got to high school. Slacks, them sweater vests, Oxford shirts, y'all call them button-ups, and penny loafers every day. And one day when I was an adult, she was like, boy, you the dumbest kid in the world. I'm like, what? She's like, I used to see you undress on the curb. I would wear that out the house. And when I got to the curb on Sedgwick and Blackhawk, I sit on that bus stop and change out of that foolishness. I'm like, I'm not wearing this outside. Only time I would wear it was on picture day because I knew it would be proof that I had to wear it. And I was going to beat her home so she would never know. But it's the same concept. Mm-hmm. It's unacceptable. Like, people be looking at these kids, these stupid hat dudes. The whole black community had the high top fade.
The curl.
All of us, some of us put Jerry curls and died through it. But they crazy. See, foundation, man. Understand that you used to be a kid.
If more people slowed down and understood exactly what you just said, it would be so much better. Because I feel like my community, my generation, and the generation just want to hear that. Like, you know what? It's not that bad. Relax. Y'all look messed up, but I got some stories to tell too. And then y'all will relate, and then that person will get more comfortable because y'all looked at everybody. Like you said, everybody looked at, man, what these kids dying they dreads blonde for? Half of your high top fade was black. Black and
look, you had a high top fade like this, and they called it a Gumby.
Right, like you paying somebody to go to sleep on your haircut.
Yeah, man. So it's
if that I guarantee if that conversation happens, it needs to happen just like that. Like, I would literally make that an open. Like, I know what y'all doing, and it's not that bad.
But okay, remember the biggest problem me and you had was school.
Right.
Because you thought I was this smart guy who did the schoolwork all the time. And it took me.
And the key is, like, I just didn't think you understood.
Yeah, and I was like, bruh. Your mama came home and said, Nikki, where did I go to high school? And she was like, you went to high school at 2 high schools. My high school and the one you went to. And remember I took you to get grandmama house. I said, Mom, would you tell him? She was like, this Negro did never do no homework. I'm like, BJ, I got Denise Milk and Cookies in the bed. Dude, I hated school like the devil hate God, Jack. Well, I was the master of summer school, Jack.
I was so cold at summer school. We used to have to pay for it. I got the school to pay for it.
I was like, but I was trying to tell you. That's why I always that's why I used to let you slide sometime. You didn't think it, but I'm like, dude, I was hard on you.
I'm thinking as I'm older and I understand that, I'm thinking I got over that Negro. I was smarter than the average bet.
Never.
You looking like, yeah, you know what? This one ain't even worth it. All right, BJ, you got it.
Remember, I used to tell you, BJ, you read not the playbook that I wrote. But see, I don't know. Again, that comes from your grandma. Like, it all again, man. The foundation starts with the spirituality. You know what, man? Here, watch this. I can't think of one day my mama went to church in all the 40 years she lived of my life. But you know what I did used to see her do? Sit in her room and pray and read the Bible. So it's just the foundation. It always comes back to where you start. So you create the thing, and then all of the things fall in line. Like you used to see me read. And then I don't really like reading. And what I do, I gave you the book that saved me, Malcolm X. And you sat up and read the whole book. I didn't even think you was gonna read the whole book. I ain't gonna lie, I thought you was gonna read a little bit. And you was like, yeah. And you end up reminding me of Ella. I forgot about Ella. But again, now you read.
That was the plan in the beginning.
Yeah.
2 or 3 chapters in the middle. I mean, the beginning, in the middle.
And it got good.
Watch the movie. Get them out my face for a week.
Yeah, but it ended up being good. But see, again, though. So and
those be things that we just don't have no more. Like, I remember when you gave me Hidden Colors for the first time. Like, that literally changed my life. Opened my eyes to everything. Like, most of my friends ain't never even seen or even heard of.
Yeah. See, man, that's what I'm saying. The spirituality, the faith in something, and then you in the want for growth. Man, it's easy. Look, man, let me tell you something. You don't have children yet, and the one thing I'll tell you about having children, you gonna pour into them what me and Nick poured into you, right? Mm-hmm. Graham, you are everybody. You Johnny, you Annette, you Graham, you my dear, and Lois, you Big Richard, and Granddad George, and everybody on your mama's side and everybody on my side, right? That's what you are. But what you got to realize is this: if you don't start off pure, you're gonna end up raggedy. And that's just it. If you don't start off pure, you're going to end up raggedy. And the purity is you have to realize that something I didn't realize until I got older. What you do best between the ages of 14 and 24 is make mistakes. You have a PhD in blowing it. You have a PhD in blowing it. And then when you realize that, you go like, and then that's what reading the Bible. That's what'll help you, because everybody they think it's a book of magic. It's not. It's a book of it's like the rappers say, it's basic instructions before leaving Earth. And it's the Quran, it's the Torah, all of that. It's the same thing. And guess what? All those things came from the continent. So when you get those numbskulls that get the holler, man, it's the white man's religion. How's it the white man religion and your black ass invented it? But that's neither here nor there. You need the foundation of truth. And then it teaches you patience. It shows you if you have faith, you move forward. It teaches you patience and letting things develop.
And then I remember me and you having a Bible conversation back when I was there. And I'm like, man, here you go with these stories and this and that. He was like, no, it's not about the stories. It's about within the story.
Right.
The lessons that were learned, and that's what you take. Like if you ain't believing in some snake talking or parting seas and feeding, no, you take the lesson of what happened with
allegory.
Exactly. And that's what you believe in.
Right. It's the lesson, man. And 99 times out of 100, this is how God works. Whatever you're going through, like Reverend Dodd send you them things every Sunday. You were saying before we was in the green room, you was like, man, I really appreciate those. Those things show up right when you need them.
Man, don't they? I could literally just be sitting and chilling, and I may not even be going through that. Now I'll be watching Family Guy or Family Guy watching me, and then something shoot across my screen. I'm like, man, what are you going on with this? Then it'd be like, man, I needed to hear that. Like, and nothing, like I said, nothing was going wrong in my life. I didn't have no troubles or anything, but that was exactly what I needed right then and there.
Now, let's get to this last question because we've been on an hour now. If your generation start getting a foundation in religion, do you think it'll cut down on the violence, the drug use, and all the foolishness and the tomfoolery that's going on in the community? Faith, love, and hope is his base. That's my main man, Fly Tie to Virginia. Good to hear from you. And I don't know if I said salute to Denise Milk and Cookies. Good to see you, my sister.
Yes and no.
Okay.
I think it would cut down. I don't think it'll stop.
Oh no, ain't nothing gonna make it stop because it's gonna be mayhem no matter what.
Okay, well then, since we got an understanding of that, then yeah, it'll definitely because it'll make you think twice about what you're doing. It really would. Man, like I just said, like yeah, you'll read if you were in tune with yourself and your religion, you'll read the Bible or read the Quran, whatever you're doing, and you will understand, like, hey man, this ain't the right thing to do. You will take a lesson from what you're doing, like those messages. Like, nobody open the Bible and get to the first page. No, you open to what you need for right now.
Thank you, Alfred.
And
Alfred in the Bible.
And you go from there. And so it'll definitely cut it down.
Yeah. And see, yeah. And then you know what? Yeah, here go the crazy part. If the people in my generation start reading the damn Bible instead of quoting certain scriptures to fit their lie or their get down, it'll fix the violence in the community. Because see, this judgmental thing has to stop.
It definitely does.
You know.
Because go ahead.
That's why I was always honest with you, man. Hey, BJ, dude, I used to get Q's and Z's. My grades are so bad, man.
Shout out to Rita.
Right, I'm telling you, dog.
Yeah, Rita say, man, you got Q's and Z's again.
Yeah, man. It was, man, Jack. But I never put it on to you like I was the straight A student. Yo, see, that's why me and your mom used to bump heads, because your mama was a obedient young person. Graham say this and your mama did it. My mama said that and I go, I'm finna get the whooping this week.
Yeah, Graham just talking about, hey, your mama and Sean, yeah, the rest of them.
Yeah, they did what they supposed to do, and I didn't. So I got it. Like that time one time, you and your mama, me and Bria was beefing, and we was in the kitchen, but we was just Brian and Bria beefing, and you and your mama was standing on the other side of the kitchen just looking at us like, and y'all said, what's wrong with y'all? And we was like, what? We looked at y'all like, what? We was like, and we pointed at each other, he get me. And that's why me and Bria could beef and then separate and then walk in the room and be like, okay, you still make me sick, but okay.
Right. So yeah, it'd definitely cut down on the violence, though.
Yeah.
It would. And like you said, the judgmental thing just gotta stop, because like I said, nobody likes like you even admitted, your generation, my generation, nobody likes. I ain't even gonna lie to you. My generation, some punks too. And what I mean by punks is like, yeah, nobody likes for the finger to get pointed at them, but my generation, they take it super duper personal.
Because ain't nobody ever told them no. See again, that's not their fault.
It's not. I never said it was. It's sometimes a little shocking because it's like, because even like I was talking to one of Peanut's friends who doing some time in jail right now, and we were all he was on speaker, and we was all talking, and he was like, man, you should hear why some of these fools are in here. He was like, man, I would give anything on earth for somebody to do that to me because I wouldn't have been in here. Not for that.
Right.
He said, I've been in here for 8 years. I'm not going to jail for that.
And see, that's the thing, man. We do a lot of telling and talking, like what my homegirl Denise just said. Denise said the Bible has everything in it. You just have to speak the language to get it, and you can read that as the words. You have to speak the language. Oh, I don't speak Hebrew. No. Speak the spiritual language. You have to slow down and read it. I remember when you used to get them jacked up grades, and I'd be like, BJ. And I would tell you something, and you'd be like, I said, dude, you can't read. And you got offended. No, I can't read. And you said the words. I said, now what it say, what it mean? And you was like, huh? I said, you just said a bunch of words. You can't read. You can say words, but you can't read.
It's
and
it's like the text message you sent me. You said, man, don't listen to what was it?
Yeah. Don't listen to understand. Don't listen to respond. Listen to understand.
Listen to understand. And that's exactly what a lot of people in my generation, younger and they just keep getting worse and worse and worse. They don't want to understand.
But see, when you got a chaotic situation, who am I understanding?
Exactly.
You're worse off than me. I give you money every month.
Exactly.
You're 30 cents away from a quarter. What I'm listening to you for?
And that goes back to one of our previous shows. I said that, like, one thing you gotta realize is these kids right now, they got a pocket full of money. And even though, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't want to lose $10,000, but $10,000 not gonna take me far, especially the lifestyle these kids trying to live. Then they got 10,000. They got their own car. Then they got their own gun. So now I got my own gun, my own money. So when this money get low, guess what I'm gonna go do? Go give me some more money. So it is nothing you can really tell them. So I understand. I completely understand.
Mm-hmm.
And then your mama at the club part, you 2 seconds out partying with your mama at the club. You buy your mama bottles. I've seen it.
And then people from the outside go, their kids wrong. No, those parents wrong. Yeah. A lot of cases, it's you didn't tell your kid. You didn't tell your kid, So, with that being said, man, give me your final thought on the whole religion, the communal thing, and the generational thing, and then we're going to close it out.
My final thoughts on it is, it just got to get better. We have to, it's like I'm going to keep saying, we just got to we got to find a better way to talk to each other. And 2, we got to find just a common ground. Soon as I relay this message in the best way that I can, now we can start building and find a common ground. Like, well, you know what? I understand this, so we can start building from this. Because like you said, it starts from the head, the parent. And the parent got to say, all right, this is the foundation I'm going to lay. We go, now that I heard you out, this is the right way to do this. And we start building from there. And that's basically my thoughts on it. We just got to find some type of common ground, especially with religion. I told you, when you even sent me this, I told you already, these are good questions because this is something that a lot of people want to know and understand. Like, why isn't there religion? Like, I'm 28. Like I said, I can probably count on maybe one hand how many times I've had a religious conversation with a friend, rather.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, with that being said, man, one thing I really had to say to close out is this. Stop talking at people, start talking to people. People don't want you. People don't want you to say they care. They want you to show you they care. And if you only telling people the way it was when you was this way, ain't nobody listen to that. Nobody listen. You didn't listen to it. I ain't listened to it. Not many people listen to it. Not many people pay attention to it. And stop saying what's wrong with these children and figure out what's wrong with the adults that raised these children, because they're only doing what they were allowed to do for the entirety of their lives. And guess what? And this holds true generation, time, and memorial. From the most, I know some of the most staunch gangbangers, dope dealers, and killers. And once you got up in their face and let them know, hey man, I'm gonna respect you, but you messing up, and you put them in a place where they knew, oh, you care, they will fall in line. Because I don't know how it is now, but when I was in high school, some of the biggest gangbangers in the world was on the honor roll.
Yeah, that's crazy. And that's just so crazy to me. I mean, we'll talk about that next time. Gang culture and what's going on in the streets.
Right. We could do that next
time.
That
could be next season, because I would definitely love to talk about that and understand about that.
Yeah. So, instead of talking at these kids, telling them what they're doing wrong, ask them, what would you like to do? And then salute to Karen Hunter. And I'm going to say this. If you have grandchildren, if you have young nieces and nephews, or if you have young kids, don't ask them what they want to be. This is a question that the Black community needs to start asking their children. How you going to help the community? See, because what you want to be might not help the community. Because what you want to be is somebody with some money. How you going to help the community will make you some money and benefit somebody else. With that being said, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. If you are on the Facebook, again, hit that thumbs up, man. Help your boy out. And like I said last night, this is my ministry. So instead of paying tithes, what I would love for you to do is bring 3 or 4 or 5 more people and subscribe to the show on YouTube, The End of the Bench, THAENDOFDABENCH, The End of the Bench. It's a Black Power series, building a story where we are attempting to build up the community, the story that lies in the propaganda around the community. Thank you for tuning in. As usual, I'm going to give a salute to the people that inspire me, and that would be the Ghetto Boys Podcast, Tariq, Nick Sheed, Nori, Talib Kweli, Ray Grady, Zoe Williams, Corey Holcomb, Craig Smith from Craig Facts, Al Sharpton, Heather B, the super dope brother Clay Kane. Everybody's super dope, but these are my favorite. Larry Daniel Favors, my favorite talk host. One of the most informed people you'll ever come across. Look him up on YouTube, Dr. Greg Carr. He's on Roland Martin. He's on Roland Martin show. If you don't know who he is, the Queen Mother Karen Hunter, and the dean of Black empowerment, and that would be Joe, the Black Eagle Madison. There's a few things I want y'all to do. I want y'all to register somebody to vote. Find 5 people to get registered to vote. Because I was talking to little mama today, Tiki, Teresa Rucker. I was talking to her today. And she was talking about how jacked up it is in Gary, because you got people who tear their behinds in this office and they run for that office, and the dude tear his behind this office and they ain't getting nowhere. So what we gonna do is download the Politicking app, download the 5 Cause app, and download Haiti, Hayti. That is a Black news organization that's getting information that is important to you on your phone. You got TikTok and Flip Flop and Hip Hop and on your phone. Download some Black news and get it from Black people who telling you the story. Black people who are telling you the story. If you don't understand how important Black media is, this is what I'm gonna tell you. When the United States of America dropped a bomb on Hiroshima in Japan in the 40s to end World War II, they said, oh, it ain't gonna be nothing. A Black news outlet told the world, no, the radiation is gonna mess with everybody on the planet. We know that to be true now. Black people did that. Black people are still doing it. And continue to support us, Built for This network, and anybody who I put up on that screen. Big Mo, Chef D, my main man Justin, who's doing the Elevate podcast, BS3 Network, the Forecast, or whoever else I promote, Trust and Believe. They're doing the same thing. We getting it cracking. I need the support. Like I said last night, look, Roland Martin has over 50,000 subscribers on his network. He needs more. I need more. But he's doing $78,000 a month. If I could get 10,000, I could potentially be doing $25,000 a month. And then we ain't got to complain that we ain't got no jobs in the hood, because then we can open up businesses. And then we can buy homes and sell them to people at cost and things like that. We can move things like Dr. Buster DeForest Stories. He is the blueprint on how you can take spirituality and develop a community. Spirituality and develop a community. Please do that. Please help me get to 10,000. And when you help me get to 10,000, I guarantee you, the money ain't for me. Hell yeah, I want some money. I want to ride around in a slick ass car. I want a dope ass crib, and I want all that. But I don't want nobody who I know to be struggling. So I need you to help me. And as usual, salute to Reggie O'Shea, aka Combat Jack. And with that being said, I want y'all to dream those dreams and man up and woman up and live those dreams. Because life without dreams flows in black and white. And life with dreams flows in Technicolor surround sound. And remember, if you don't like what me and BJ saying every other Wednesday,
you better shut your white mouth. I'm not kidding you.
Shut your white mouth.
And salute to the homie Craig Smith. And I'm gonna say what I say every week. If I owe you something, I ain't got it. Meet me at 4104 West Roosevelt on Sunday morning. Because if you need it, get it from God.
We lust for that cheese, we lose sleep, dreams of that cream. We killing our teens, they dying for this American dream. Them government schemes, they turning us to hustlers and fiends. We hustling trees, them politicians smuggling green. Chasing that cheese, got everybody stressed in the streets. Pardon me for speaking freely, let it breathe. Evangelists preach the congregations out of their seats. They writing them checks for tithes, now it's people can't eat. She stripping for change for school, now she giving them brains. She used to that loot, she earning, now she giving them strain. He new to this game, but hungry, so he cooking his cane. He getting that paper, but then they gave him two to the brain. There's rules to this game, but hustlers never hustle for fame. The spirit of greed is grimy, so we struggle to change. They put us in chains to take away our African names. But if we submissive and don't resist, then who do we blame? It's all a game, man. These Europeans thinking they claim, and you a victim of their game plan. You thinking they ain't, you thinking they saints. Remember all them niggas they hang? Killed our women and our children, all our leaders is slain. They gave us Obama, but that nigga was hoping for change. But Zimmerman is killing niggas and he free. Shit is crazy, babies having these babies and getting checked. But keep the child from they pop to rip his heart out his chest. Our rappers was leaders and now they in the booth in the dress. Spitting bullshit and making more but giving us less. They taking our sound and changing ours, dumbing it down. They taking our jobs and homes and they shutting us out. They taking our kids because it ain't a man in the house. They locking us down, but soon they gon' be wiping us out. They told our women they was too independent to need a man. They told our brother he was too insignificant to advance. It's all a game, man. These Europeans staking they claim. And you a victim of their game plan. You thinking they ain't, you thinking they saints. Remember all them niggas they hang? Killed our women and our children, all our leaders is slain. It's all a game.